Good evening. In order to preserve the dignity of our commencement, we respectfully request that all guests refrain from talking or calling out, and that you take children who are crying to the lobby. We also ask that you do not take pictures or videos or leave your seats. Professionally produced videos and photographs will be available for a reasonable cost through the Collegiate Academy office. We understand that this is an important occasion for you, as it is for all in attendance, so please turn off all cell phones at this time because they interfere with the sound system in the theater. As we begin the processional, please remain seated. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance read by Senior Class President Dakota Palmer, and remain standing for the national anthem sung by Senior Sydney Berlin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
glory hum to hum.
Domine Deus, Deus Rex Celestis, Deus Pater Omnipotens. Domine Filii, Unigenite, Iesu Christe, Domine Deus, Agnus Dei, Filius Patris, Filius Patris, Filius Patris, Domine Deus, Agnus Dei, Filius Patris, Domine Deus, Agnus Dei, Filius Patris, Filius Patris.
Good evening, and welcome to the Northwest Pennsylvania Collegiate Academy 14th Commencement Exercise. We are honored to have parents, students, guests, and faculty with us this evening to celebrate such a wonderful accomplishment. There are a number of members from the Erie School Board I would like to acknowledge, and I would ask that they stand when I call their name. Mr. Edward Brzezinski, Mr. Tom Spagel, Mrs. Linda Alexandrovich. Also on stage with us this evening is our superintendent, Dr. Jay Badams, Ms. Nancy Zadali, Assistant Superintendent for Academics, and Dr. Tammy Smith, Director of High Schools. Thank you and welcome.
Just a little while we were here together. For just a little while we were side by side. And I know that through it all, these are days we will recall. What a special time it was. For just a little while, we have joined our voices. For just a little while, we made a difference here. And I know someday that we will reflect on this and see what a special time it was. For just a little while.
Maybe someday when we're all alone, maybe someday out there on our own, we'll remember this time and we'll smile for just a little while.
Our thanks to our chamber singers and Mrs. Susie Hooster. Thank you so much for those wonderful selections. It's my pleasure to introduce, and please join me in welcoming our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jay Badams.
Thanks, everyone. Wow, what a huge crowd. I'm not sure if it's the way that we're set up this year or not, but it seems like there are people miles away in the back there. I so wish that all of you who are here to support your graduates could be on this stage seeing your young sons and daughters the way we can from here. A little bit of anxiety, a lot of joy, and a lot of relief on their faces, and they just look so wonderful. But I guess you'll have to take my word for it. I have to tell you sincerely well, actually, this is my 13th. There have been 14 classes through Collegiate Academy with one year in 2008 when I wasn't able to be part of the ceremony. I've been here for each of them. And I have come to find graduation in general, and very specifically Collegiate Academy's graduation, the highlight of my professional year. This is such an outstanding occasion. It's such a great celebration. And I'm not going to get into the whole discussion or debate about whether this is an end or a beginning. It should be enjoyed for what it is. It's certainly a milestone. It's certainly the capstone of 4 years, actually 13 years of really hard work on the part of our students, with all the ups and downs and all of the time spent pursuing their studies, developing their emerging social lives and everything that goes along with that. It's also the culmination for those of you who are here to support our graduates, parents who've seen these children through from birth until now. It's a huge milestone for us, and I certainly count myself among you, with 2 having passed this stage at Collegiate Academy and 2 more to go. But I really, in the spirit of savoring this moment, I'm going to ask for a little indulgence, as corny as it may seem. But I wonder if all of you would just join me real quickly in a couple of real deep breaths. So if everyone would just take a real deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just join me. Wow. One more would be really good. For those of us up here with our hearts beating because we have a speaking role in this affair, I'm sure that felt good. For those of you who are sitting there wondering if you'll trip on the stage, for those of you reading names wondering if you'll trip over a name, and for all those of you anxious to see your children graduate, I hope that relaxed us all a little bit. But I also hope it helps us be in this moment. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I spend each year around this time, I rush to put together remarks that can come hopefully somewhat close to capturing the real essence of this milestone. And it always inevitably falls short, and I'm sure no one ever remembers anything I say, which is probably right. But I feel so strongly about the importance of this occasion that I actually, rather than consulting the great classics of poetry or really insightful things that have been written by philosophers and novelists and everybody else who gets quoted at this time of year, I turned this year instead to the Social Security Administration's actuarial tables. And it came to me because the notion that I often hear at this time of year, and that you are hearing, I'm sure, if not saying yourselves, these are the best times of our life. And maybe it's because I'm 49 and on the verge of 50 now, but I find that, in my opinion, to be eminently false. And I'm going to be kind of like the annoying guy that tells you everything that happens in the movie you're about to see. And I hope I'm speaking for at least a good number of our parents when I offer this notion that as wonderful as these times have been and as great as tonight is in your teenage years, I just have to tell you that from my own experience, these aren't the best times of your life. I sincerely hope that all the wonderful work that everybody involved with your education and in supporting you have invested, that I certainly hope that we've helped to prepare you, given you skills and knowledge and all the things that will be necessary for you to go out and create the best times of your life. But I'm going to argue that these really aren't the best times of your life. I bet there's some of the folks out there in the audience here who, when they held you in their arms when you were born, they probably thought, you know what, I might have thought that high school and graduation was one of the best times of my life, but you know what, this isn't really the best time of my life. And then seeing you here tonight graduating, I'm sure to many of the folks out there right now is one of the best times in their life. And I'll share with you real quickly, I had one of my Collegiate Academy graduates, is a real sensitive guy named Matt, and I turned 40, and all my friends at work came in with a bunch of black balloons and like celebrated my 40th birthday at the administration building, and everybody's giving me the doom and gloom cards and all that fun stuff. And I was thinking to myself at that time and told my wife, this is my favorite birthday. I turned 40, and I was thinking, this is great. I lived 40 years. My kids are doing okay, we're doing okay, and I've lived. And I've been able to find happiness, even though we've had tragedy. And I remember thinking, that's my favorite birthday. And then I told my son, Matt, you know what, I'm thinking I'm on the verge of a midlife crisis. Maybe I'm going to go, get a new car or something like that. And he said, Dad, what on earth makes you think that you're going to live to be 80? He sort of put things in perspective and really that gave me the idea to look at the actuarial tables. I got anywhere from 27 to 32 years left, according to the Social Security Administration. But you, graduates of the class of 2014, ladies, you have about 63.49 years left. And gentlemen, I'm sorry to tell you, you have 58.72. Now, Mr. Fleming could probably tell us how valid those numbers are. And I certainly hope they're way underestimating your remaining years. But I bet you anything that in the years that will follow this wonderful milestone event, this extremely proud achievement, you're going to have many, 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 many more milestones for which you'll be able to say these are the best times of your life. I wish that for you. I'm extremely proud of all of you. On behalf of all your parents and your friends, family, teachers, school directors, all the staff at Collegiate Academy who've helped to bring you to this night, I wish you the best of luck. For everybody out there, I'll tell you we love you, and we hope you'll always remember us and that we'll have helped prepare you. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Badams, for those words of wisdom, I guess. This year's theme for commencements is based on the 2005 TED Talk by Richard St. John, titled The 8 Secrets to Success. Our students have centered their remarks on describing and defining the ideas of success. Our first speaker this evening is the daughter of Randy and Michelle Gala. For the last 2 years, she has been the leader on the academic decathlon team, both as a top competitor as well as the team captain, while maintaining a full-time summer job and participating in various theatrical productions. In the fall, she plans on attending Penn State University Schreier's Honor College to study chemical engineering. It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Samantha Gala.
We are about to do something that we have never done before. Today, we all leave the safety net of secondary education, an education that has certainly served us well, and finally move on to a future of our own making. In the next few months, in the next few years, we will have the chance to shape our majors, our careers, our own lives. Of course, that means that we'll have to shape our majors, our careers, our own lives. And to be perfectly frank, I am terrified, and I'm guessing so are many of you. There is no sage advice, no secret to success that I can offer to you all to prepare us for these upcoming challenges, because I do not know what the future holds, or whether or not we will all succeed, or fail, or fall somewhere in between. I do know that already we've achieved innumerable successes, chief among them graduating from an institution as rigorous and stimulating as the Northwest Pennsylvania Collegiate Academy. And an achievement such as that requires not just great intelligence or diligence, it requires great strength. For you see, aptitude is not what kept your eyes open during those long nights in front of 1,000-page textbooks. And all the persistence in the world couldn't have saved you from the utter disappointment of failing your first test. The will to keep going, both despite your failures and because of them. The strength to push yourself harder than ever before is what brought us here today. And I believe that is what success is all about. Not the merits or the medals or even the gratifying praise. Success is a journey, long and hard and oftentimes daunting, that leads to such accomplishments. Even if you lose track of your diplomas in dusty old attics, don't ever lose track of the countless trials and incredible growth it took us all to earn that small piece of paper. That journey and those rewards, small and intangible lessons we learned both in the classroom and outside of it, is what brought us all here today, and what will keep us ahead of the curve for the rest of our lives. If you want proof, class of 2014, I invite you to remember our first day of high school. We were all a little more wide-eyed, a lot less sleep-deprived, and not nearly as sure-footed. And I think it's safe to say on our first day of high school, we were all just a little bit afraid. Afraid that we wouldn't make any new friends. Afraid that we wouldn't be smart enough. Afraid that we couldn't work hard enough to succeed. But the thing about fear, it is a very motivating force. It keeps us sharp and forces us to be heedful of the great stakes at play. That fear that we all felt on the first day of high school, along with the high standards of Collegiate Academy, motivated us all to work harder and achieve more than any of us thought possible in those first doubt-filled days. Would any of us have predicted in those early days that we'd understand concepts as abstract as calculus or themes as deep as Shakespeare's? Could any of us have thought that we'd stand any more than 40 minutes of homework, let alone 4 hours? Yes, graduating from Collegiate Academy would have seemed a very frightening task indeed, only a short 4 years ago. And I think a very similar fear plagues us today. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure. But we've all been tried and measured and found worthy of the daunting task before us. And if all of us scared little freshmen can survive the tests and quests and quizzes, the essays and research papers and projects, the stress and uncertainty and doubt that are hallmarks of a Collegiate Academy education, emerging from it not just smarter, but stronger, then I believe that success is well within reach for each and every one of us. So we should be afraid, my classmates, and let that fear propel us rather than defeat us. But if you ever find yourself truly wavering, know that we've all walked this road before, and that history has a way of repeating itself, and that if past performances are any indication of future promise, then this class of 2014 can achieve anything we put our Collegiate Academy forged minds to. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. Tonight's second speaker is the daughter of J.J. Zhang and Bei Tie. She served as National Honor Society and a member of the mock trial as well as Model UN, and is also involved in the face-to-face tutoring project for the past 3 years. She will be attending Johns Hopkins University in the fall with majoring in biology with plans on attending medical school. It is my pleasure to introduce to you all Miss Lady Zhang.
Newton's first law of motion states that an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and that an object in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon by an external force. This simple law of physics perfectly explains the key element to success. Success can be defined in many ways, personally tailored to the perspective of every person. When the ball gets rolling, things start falling into place. Yet, it is hard to admit to others, let alone yourself, that you may need help to nudge the ball forward. An internal drive to reach a goal may keep that ball rolling, but inevitably, there will be times when that ball gets stuck in a groove, when you study for countless hours, doing what seems like an endless number of integrals, and still fail that calc test. When you run through blistering heat and freezing rain on sore legs to still fall short of that championship game. Every force pushes you back, and it seems like nothing can be done to move forward. That is when fear and frustration settle in and success begins to slip away. But we have to muster the courage to persevere, to push through, and to move forward time and time again. As students, as Collegiate Academy students, none of us breeze through our classes. We all have had at least one all-nighter, trying to solve an acid-base chemistry reaction or figuring out the symbolism in a novel for an essay. It was hard, but we never gave up. Those are the times when giving in felt like the best thing to do, just to let it go. But we didn't, or else we wouldn't be sitting here today. We wrote those 10-page research papers, and we survived every AP test. And we got through every breakup, even if it took a couple tubs of ice cream. We pushed others, gave them the incentive to keep going, and in turn, we were pushed to go beyond what we personally thought was possible. Every single one of us has a reason, although it may be different, to be proud of our success today. We are not successful because we went to Collegiate. No, we are successful because we made it through Collegiate, with a nudge here from a friend and a push there from a teacher and parent. And for that, we thank you. Even after we walk this stage with our diplomas in hand, we still owe it to each other as proud members of Collegiate Academy's class of 2014 to motivate ourselves and to support each other. And 10 years from now, as we all browse Facebook or Twitter or whatever the new social networking site may be, we can smile at the screen, knowing that we had a hand in the success of Laurel Brennan's Broadway career, or Kevin Kang's groundbreaking finding in biomedical engineering, or Sierra Balsiger's and Andrew Delgado's military services for our country. Now, it is easy to attribute all of our own success to our own drive. But if you truly believed you are the only person pushing that ball forward, the sole reason for your success, then you would be lying to yourself. Our goals only turn into success with the endless support and continuous belief of every teacher here today that every single one of us is more than capable of becoming an exceptional nurse, a distinguished lawyer, or even a life-changing teacher, with the hopes of one day giving back a fraction of what they have faithfully given us for the past 4 years. And again, we thank you. So as these 4 years come to a close, ticking away even as I speak, only one question remains. Why does this all matter? Why is success important? Success is important because success is excelling at what you love to do, and the idea of success is the incentive. That is the ultimate goal. There is no sweeter or more satisfying feeling than tasting success after traveling a long and bitter road. Now, one of the greatest challenges each of us will ever face in our lifetime is settling for contentment. Do not accept success if it means you suddenly stop working towards a purpose. For true and final success is never really attainable, because success occurs when we constantly strive to break the confines and boundaries of what is already attained. So despite all the nerd stereotypes that we may have endured, and as we all venture into the world, we have to remember the reason for our success, for our future success. We just have to keep going, despite the frictions and hardships that we may face, to not be afraid to give a little more. And with the help of our friends, family, and teachers, to push that ball a little further. Thank you.
Thank you, Lady. Following tradition, our Collegiate Academy keynote speaker is given by an alumnus who spoke from the previous year's graduation. This year, we welcome back Miss London Smith. London graduated summa cum laude in 2013. During her time at Collegiate Academy, she was an AP Scholar, a member of the National Honor Society, captain of the Strong Vincent Colonel soccer team, as well as a member of the Erie County Colts rugby team. London currently attends Temple University in Philadelphia and is majoring in, although my speech is somewhat out of date, dentistry, or soon to be in dentistry, with a concentration in business. She is the daughter of Mark and Tammy Smith. She has two sisters at Collegiate Academy, Darby and Chelsea Smith. Please join me in welcoming Miss London Smith.
You all have made it. You've made it. Every beach walk, research paper, detention, and struggle with the dress code is behind you. Change is happening. You're going to be high school graduates. And right now, I bet you are all focused on what lies ahead. The people you will meet, the places you will go, and the things you will study. You all picture yourself successful, no matter where you are. During the past 4 years, you have defined success to be based on GPA, class rank, and activities put on your college resume. So the question is, what will it mean for you to be successful after today? You all have made plans for the future, and your class rank and GPA disappear the moment you turn those tassels. In college, you will experience everything from making lifelong friends to having more choices about what you study and finding your passions in life. You will find a time when you are homesick, struggling in a difficult class, or arguing with a roommate about whether you are successful. Little things such as having lunch with a new friend, finishing homework the day it's assigned, or even getting your laundry done. These all contribute to your success, even if one thing isn't going your way. Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks basketball team, once said, "You should be trying a lot of things until you find one thing you really love to do and are good at. When that happens, you will be able to focus. Being focused at 18 is overrated. Now is the time to screw up, to try as many different things as you can, and just maybe figure things out." I encourage all of you to listen to this advice. And don't stress about how successful you are right off the bat. It takes time to find your passions. Perseverance is hard to maintain away from home in a new place. At first, you might not focus or work hard. We all know in a battle between Netflix and schoolwork, Netflix usually wins. Thank you, Breaking Bad. This will change, though. you will figure out just the right balance between productivity and procrastination. Even if your plans do not necessarily involve a four-year college, you will face the same struggles as a new adult. Perhaps it's a personality that doesn't quite click with yours, or a task that almost seems impossible. Every single one of you is going to have a different experience, no matter where you are these next few years. I ended up in Philly. I love Philly. I also hate Philly. You'll find that you have a lot of love-hate relationships in your life. It may not be the campus that you go back and forth about. Perhaps it's your major, or about decisions you've made. If you think you have it figured out now, I promise your plans will change. And it's not a bad thing. I'm a declared bioengineering major with a minor in business who plans to study abroad. And as Mr. Vieira explained, in the past week I've already changed that. It all sounds amazing, right? It sounds like I have it all figured out. That's the biggest facade there is. Nobody my age, our age, has anything figured out. At least twice a day I say I'm going to change my major. I'll be an international business major. I'll be a dentist. I'll be a higher education major. I'll be a traveling hobo in Europe, I say. That last one seems to come up a little bit more often than it should. The point is, try and find a few things that you think you might love, and follow all of them. That's what I'm doing. I may not graduate in exactly 4 years, but I know those are things I want to do. If you know that, if you know one or two things that you love and are passionate about, you can make anything work. You will have hard classes. You will have infuriating professors. Graduating from Collegiate Academy means that you have done something very, very right academically. So when you are barely passing a class, and remember, most of you will struggle at some point, remember that you all have what it takes to buckle down and do amazing, incredible things. So relax. Collegiate has already taught us what it takes to be successful. You have learned how to work hard, focus on your goals, and have pride, honor, and respect in school and in life. So I encourage all of you to remember your past and your experiences from Collegiate Academy to build a successful future and a very fulfilling life. Put yourself out there, try new things, and make mistakes. Thank you.
Thank you, London. School Board Director, Mr. Edward Brzezinski, will now declare this class graduated. On behalf of the senior class of 2014, Ms. Dakota Palmer, the senior class president, will accept the diploma.
How do you follow that? I just wrote down a few words, if you give me a second. I never do that to you kids, you know that. I do want to mention just a few things. Number one, I want to talk about success. Last week, it was brought back to me some of the crazy things I used to do when I taught English at East High School. I had a little saying on a board. It was called lazy smart. And I told the kids, do the best job you can the first time, and you won't have to keep on doing it over and over again. And to back it up, we used to do a perfection paper. Just one paragraph, and I would correct it to the first mistake. If they forgot to dot an I, if they forgot to cross a T, they got the paper back, and they had to write the whole thing over again, not just to the spot. They learn very quickly, attention to detail, because so many times in life, that's vitally important. The second thing I want to talk to you about is integrity. You know, as you start growing up, some of you virtually could become millionaires, and you could lose all of that and start another firm and get it all back again. You can get sick. You know, with the help of the Lord and good doctors, you can get well again. But if you lose for 1 second your ability to be trusted and loved by the people that you're going to be working for, you can have a lifetime trying to win it back. All of us told little white lies to our parents, and they forgave us because they saw our faces every day, right? And we love you. Tell a little story to one of your professors in college and let them catch you. Or tell a falsehood to your boss when you work for Price Waterhouse or wherever you go to spend the rest of your life, if you're going to be lucky enough to stay there. Remember, if you always tell the truth, you only have to remember one story. And my final thing for you is to dream. I don't know how I could follow the speech given by London when she said that, I don't know where I'm going. It's the truth, but it's the journey. So you have to dream. Dream your dreams and ask questions. Find out if you're going the right way. And once you're sure you're going the right way, then take the second step. Make the plan. Make the plan, and you will see, one way or another, that plan will turn into reality. Everybody talked about success here today. You guys are probably tired of me talking, so I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to bring our next school board director next year, Miss Dakota, up here. And someplace I'm going to get you folks graduated. If I can find the paper they hid on me. Here it is. You ready, my dear? Okay. By the power duly vested in me as a member of the Board of the School Directors of the City of Erie, and upon the certification by the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. J.D. Badams, and the Dean of the Collegiate Academy, Mr. James Vieira, that the members of this senior class have satisfactorily completed the requirements for a diploma as determined by the local Board of Directors and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I hereby declare the members of this class of 2014 of the Northwest Pennsylvania Collegiate Academy officially graduated. I am honored to present this diploma to the Student Senate President of this class, representing all members of this class. Dakota Palmer, it is my pleasure. I'm going to shake your hand because I can't find the diploma.
It's underneath there.
It's underneath there? Yeah. Let me start that again. Dakota Palmer, it is my pleasure to present you with the diploma which certifies you have completed your high school training. Congratulations to you and each of your fellow classmates. There you go, my dear. Congratulations. That school director thing wasn't a joke. Dakota was our student board member one time, and she's been back almost just about every meeting.
Yes, sir.
So we're looking forward to it. Thank you very much. Hope I didn't talk too long.
We appreciate that you are very proud of your student, but in the interest of fairness to all graduates whose names deserve to be heard, and to preserve the dignity of this ceremony, please hold your applause and cheers until all graduates' names have been called. Devin James Abate. Rose Acree. Molly Marie Adams. Rita Hamid Aldumani. Ali Salah Aldumin. Dima Elnama. Samir Abdul El Karashi. Zaid Mazen Al-Salani. Imari Siobhan Anderson. Leah Grace Babbins. Irina Babkina. Edward Dawson Beloga. Sierra Ann Balsiger. Rachel Ann Beckman. Sydney Nicole Berlin. Hope Erin Blackford. Alyssa Christy Bowden. Ian Michael Bowers. Shayada Delise Boyd. Laurel Kathleen Brennan. Amy Elizabeth Brown. Bethany Lynn Burling. Bethany Rose Carlson. Jomar Ari Carr. Shannon Marino Cataldi. Christopher Joseph Chandler. Tyler William Crispin. Rebecca Lee Coburn. Kelly Marie Cole. Victoria Elizabeth Coleman. Kiara Elizabeth Copeland. Samantha Marie Cornelius. Jill Renee Coyne. Mackenzie Ray Crable. Andre Crosby. Tristan Alina Dabrowski. Robert Vance Danielson. Alexis Danielle Deck. Andrew Michael Delgado. Joseph Carl De Palma. Matthew Edward DeSantis. Christopher David DeSanti. Anthony Angelo D'Annunzio. Deja Marie Dixon. Dalton Chandler Dudley. Zachary Ryan Dulabon. Samuel Vance Duncan. Kayla Ariana Dura. Nicholas Gerard Zuricki. Michaela Hope Edney. Sarah Isabel Farsace. Anthony Theodore Ferrara. Patrick John Frawley. Samantha Jane Gala. Brandy Renee Gamble. Rachel Ann Ganty. Caitlin Nicole Gaston. Rachel Marie Gummersall. Joshua Richard Gorecki. Emily Margaret Griffith. Kyle Martin Grigo. Alfred Trin Gua. Jacqueline Marie Habersky. Ryan Zachary Ham. Lauren Lynn Hammerman. Alize Monet Unique Harris. Ellen Elizabeth Hartlib. Sarah Marie Hastings. Ryan Matthew Hatkovich. Jared Reed Heitzenrader. Trent Charles Heitzenrader. Sydney Deanne Henderson. Logan Isaiah Henry. Julia Faith Herbold. Christian River Herman. Aaliyah Ray Hernandez. Matthew Thomas Herschelman. Kaylee Lynn Heinzpeter. John Thomas Holmes. Christian Michael Horton. Isaiah Elijah Howard. Rebecca Lynn Howard. Jordan Nicole Hunter. Peter Barry Hurst. Yasmin Husainovich. Daniel Philip Jaskowitz. Ethan Riley Jenkins. Alana Marie Gerald. Lydia Rose Jabinski. Tiffany Leasia Jones. Kevin Singh Kang. Morgan Rose Kaiser. Amber Mary Louise Sky Keppard. Elaine Aaron Kojayan. Ya-N Kim. Thomas Daniel King. Allison Claire Kitts. Ryan Michael Kosegi. Emma Catherine Kowalski. Anna Marie Cray. Amelia Aline Kraus. Annika Rose Kremers. Catherine Ree Kretzing. Jillian Renee Kunselman. Jade Amber Lawrence. Philip Mitchell Lawrence. Danielle Elizabeth Lee. Bethany Joy Lennox. Carly Nicole Lockwood. Megan Catherine Loney. Damon Anthony McGee. Rebecca Elizabeth Magoon. Jordan Nathaniel Manson. Elizabeth Ann Markham.
Congratulations.
Amber Ray Matha. Catherine Lee McAdoo.
Congratulations.
Tiffany Amber McKinney. Daniel Michael McLaughlin. Taryn M. McLaurin. Alexander Brian Merriman. Maria Elena Mervine. Taylor Marie Michael. Jamie Lee Miller. Traquan Demori Mims. Ellis Paul Maroney. Sarah Lynn Morrow. Alyssa Lauren Naring. Marissa Lisette Negron. Terrell Robert Nowlin. Milo Melville Orr. Dakota Elizabeth Palmer. Jared Michael Pashupathi. Catherine Hart Pomorsky. Meredith Marie Ponser. Rachel Francine Ponser. Lauren Elizabeth Pruzinski. Madison Morgan Pryor. Elaine Sarah Prebashevsky. John B. Purvis. Samantha Marie Pitlars. Sandra Khalil Rabat. Krishnan Rajaya. Jessica Elizabeth Reed. Joan Jude Richardson. Jasenia Lisette Robles. Rebecca Louise Salady. Aaron James Sandin. Paradise Denise Sanders. Natalie Marie Scanlon. Zachary Julius Scott III. Luke Henry Scribner. Hannah Marie Sebastian. Haley Nicole Sechrist. Anessa Shilkovich. Alexander Reed Skinner. Alexa Marie Snarsky. Rebecca Lynn Salawada. Ksenia Alexandrovna Solonchenko. Patrick Joseph Spurka. Vincent James Stankowitz. Sabina Stepanian. Shannon Michael Steves. Alexander William Storer. Jessica Ashley Swanson. Donjane Tate. Sarah Jane Teodorsky. Erica Rose Thomas. Taylor Leanne Thompson. Kara Noelle Tingley. Austin Jonathan Trail. Andrew John Trahosky. Samuel John Trosel. Yumi Tsunoda. Andrew Arthur Tuznick. Mirna Maricela Uviña. Amina Vakufak. Noelle Marie Valamont. Emma Elizabeth Verdisha. Elizabeth Marie Waite. Alec Richmond Ward. Xavier Michael Warner. Riley Jean Wagaman. Catherine Ruth Ware. Joshua Alexander Wells. Amber Marie Welsh. Megan Nicole Westbrook. Emily Jean Wodomski. Joshua Woodrow Wilkerson. Jasmine Nicole Williams. Killian John Wood. Michael Murphy Waddell. Alex John Yacobosi. Brian Maxwell Yan. Mackenzie Lou Yost. Michael Fielding Yost. Genevieve Helena Zadunsky. Lady Zhang. Megan Jean Zimmer.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Nice start. Congratulations.
Seniors, you've been such a huge part of our lives the past 4 years, and will remain so forever. You will always be a member of the Collegiate Academy family. On behalf of Mr. Schneider, Mr. Nixon, the faculty and staff, we congratulate you, the class of 2014. You will absolutely be missed. We love you, and we hope to see you back shortly. Thank you. After singing the alma mater, the graduates will recess, and we welcome parents and family to meet their new graduates in the main lobby. At this time, I would ask you to please stand for the alma mater.
High stands our alma mater, overlooking lake and town. High in our hearts we'll cherish her ideals and fair renown. Noble in her grace and beauty, in her service frank and free, training lives in truth and duty, honor, trust, and loyalty. We will work and fight for her honor, and we'll work and fight for her fame. We will serve her right in the world's great fight. We will ever uphold her name. For her sturdy sons are so valiant, and their maidens so kind and true. Oh, we'll carry on till the stars are gone, for Academy the golden blue.